I think that the awareness about nature and biodiversity and so forth has grown, and I think this is a wonderful thing, because for me, as I grow older, I become more interested in nature, and everything about the things that I see around me enhances my world. And I think that that to me is the reason that I farm in the manner that I do.
I think the real thing is for farmers, for us to reimagine the farms we want to live in the future, as opposed to the commodity-driven, profit-driven farms that we live in now. We have a chance, and we have an awful lot of knowledge and information we can gather from the world, so we can make different choices in the way we farm. But really, I think the most important thing is use your imagination. Remember, you were a youngster on the farm, and the place was full of wonder. This is what we need to do if we want to go back to nature.
For us, the key thing is we're only visitors in the land. So we want to leave it better than we found it, and we're always striving to do that while still running a business and getting an income. But definitely it's a priority that we leave the land that we've got in a better state than we found it.
We feel grateful to be farming this land. We don't feel hard done by or want it to be anything else other than it is. And by looking at a place like that, you can make it a very enjoyable experience. You can see the benefits that are there, and you can capitalize on what the land can naturally produce in sync with nature.
I really feel that the benefit of putting tree systems in like this is going to far outweigh any financial benefit I get from a cap payment. Basically, my nature hack is to plant more trees in a kind of planned and managed way, and that's it, and everything else follows.
Don't be too tidy. Don't cut your hedge every year. If you have a thorn hedge and there's no white blossoms on it in the month of May, then you don't have a hedge. You have a bundle of sticks, then there's no life on it. Leave your hedge alone. If you don't need to cut it, then you don't need to cut every hedge every year. Leave them, let them turn white in May, and you'll have berries in the autumn.
I think there's a way of educating marginal farmers that there is value in nature. There is value in not necessarily letting the fields go totally, but actually in observing diversity, and observing that if you don't put as much nitrogen on the field this year, that the flowers will come true. With the way the economic model for beef farming has gone, there isn't necessarily a value in always having more and more and more and trying to drive greater productivity out of the land. So an ecological productivity can come in its place.
I don't think you actually have to do that much for nature, really. What you have to do is leave it alone. So finding alternatives and try not to worry too much, because, you know, going back to that farming in nature part about, if we have healthier soils and we've looked after, say, the nature and ecology and food systems, food webs in our soil, we're more likely to have healthier plants, and healthy plants are much less likely to be bothered by pests and diseases.
When you use insecticides, you kill the good as well as the bad. So if you can leave the good ones there and they're able to manage the bad, then there's a lot more that you haven't killed that will lay eggs, and you'll have more and more predators there fighting with the lads you don't want.
Most people just look at a bog and say, big brown area, so there's nothing happening there. But there's an unbelievable amount of stuff happening in front of your eyes. But it's just that we've lost that, I suppose, sense of connectedness with the land and with the soil under our feet. And I think once we get back up and get that re-established, we'll be on our way to getting a healthier planet.